God, this was a struggle to get this one started. I've always got a sense of trepidation. Always got a sense of trepidation. I don't know what I'm going to get when I pick up that phone.
Oh, I know.
You know, it's like Jimmy Savile's phone. You know, he never knew when the call was coming.
Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen,
you know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Folk in Scotland. Today it's beautiful weather and we're ready to delve, dive, explore, expand into... I don't know what I'm talking about.
The Americans say dove in a pool, don't they? They don't say they've dived in the pool. They dove.
You dove.
Dove. I like a Dove soap. Very nice. I just got
soothing. Some Dove soap today.
You like a bit of Dove? It's very soothing.
I like it.
Do you ever like... I like a Pears soap.
I like that. I've got very sensitive skin, you see.
Because Pears soap, remember the Pears encyclopedias used to... Oh, you never really went to school.
No.
At school, if you did well, you got a wee prize, and it was often a Pears encyclopedia.
Oh my goodness, I've never heard of this.
No?
No.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Lovely.
The
right chunky book.
Oh.
Right chunky book, right thick.
Lots of
books
pictures.
Are gone now. You don't need an encyclopedia, do you? Do people buy Encyclopedia Britannicas?
Oh, that's a really difficult thing, because unfortunately, people do look at Wikipedia a lot, and that is 90% bullshit.
Well, you can... If you had a Wikipedia page, you would edit it yourself.
Of course.
You'd add inches here, you'd add IQ points there, you know?
Why would you assume I'd do both these things? I don't need to add them.
No, you don't need to add them. You suggesting you need to take your IQ points down a little bit to make you feel
better
more normal.
The people, yeah, exactly.
So you can move amongst us.
Yeah,
and then you need to remove a few inches, because you're essentially a human tripod. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, I'm only 4 inches, but I find that's wide enough for most women.
Oh dear, that poor missus of yours.
Oh, she's actually...
She was a dancer, so everything's probably just fallen apart.
It's all gone now. It's all gone. And I have to take the blame. I'm just a man. Just a man.
Oh, so
shit.
Lawrence, I keep calling him Lawrence Tierney. Lawrence Cheney won Drag Race. You don't watch Drag Race?
No, everyone goes on about how good it is, but I've never seen it.
It's a right hoot.
Is it good? Oh, I've never seen it.
Well, it manages to be very warm and cuddly and extremely vulgar. Can they say
that is drag,
some hilarious?
Yeah.
They say some hilarious stuff.
Oh, that's good.
They do say some hilarious stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of the characters in it, and they're just naturals. You know what I mean, on camera and everything, hilarious.
Yeah, there's some amusing people. But it's a Scottish person. But Lawrence won. But his best line in the whole show, he said he wanted to make Glasgow famous for more than just taking a shit and not flushing the toilet.
That's brilliant. What a line. What a line.
I thought, give him the crown now.
Just
that's
for that, yeah, that's the line.
A line.
That's good stuff.
So what the sunshine?
The sun, well, yesterday, right, I was down at the studio and I went into the car and I went, what's wrong? Am I having an attack? Am I having a fever? No, it was called the sun. It was 20 degrees yesterday.
It's a summer's day.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I am thinking about having some ice cream today.
What?
I'm going to get an ice cream.
I didn't know you could even buy ice cream.
I'm going to get a 99. Well, they've down. If people don't know Dundee, down in the waterfront, they're trying to create like a European Saint-Tropez kind of vibe.
Yes.
So they've got this big expanse of grass, which isn't really well maintained. It's a wee bit mossy. But yesterday, it was knee deep in people.
Oh, I bet it was.
It was just a human carpet, like a human shag pile.
And not one mask and no social distancing.
Well, I know. The thing is, I think that we're pretty much sure now that outside, your chances, people just are not picking up COVID outside. So, but the thing is, the debate has got so fevered now. You just, you know what I mean? It's just people are marching, and people like people to march if it's on their side. They don't agree with other people.
Of course, yeah, that's it. But have you seen that we're not getting our vaccination for a month now?
I'll be back. It looks like I'm going to be back to work before I get vaccinated, and I'm slightly irritated because that means because my work is just full of old ladies who don't have kettles in the house, so they'll all be vaccinated, and I'll have to serve the fuckers.
Oh my God.
I'm slightly back. I'm quite excited about it. A little bit.
Well, you'd be glad to get back to a bit of routine, or you've been enjoying your time off.
Oh, fuck, I hate people.
Oh,
I've told you that. I hate people.
I've seen this.
But the likelihood of me being paid for the remainder of my life to do fuck all, it's just not going to happen. I'm at peace with that.
Well, that's why we're pushing the podcast. Actually, I may add, not that we do fuck all. This is we've been writing this all week. This is
drafts. People should see the state of my fingers. They're like footballers' feet. They're just callous.
You're breaking up again.
My feet
at the same
are
point every day.
Why? Why is that?
Because I'll tell you why. You wander the house while you're talking on the phone because you can't sit still because that part of the brain needs stimulus. So you're going to the same point. There's a point in your house.
Have you thought maybe I could get a travelator? So I was wandering in one spot.
That'd be a great idea, and you'd get exercise.
What are those things? It looks like a cinched football, and it's got a rim round it, and you kind of pogo about a little bit.
What the fuck?
You know, it's like a ball. It's like a rubber ball, but it's got a really tight waist, and it's like a plastic rim. And they're for like.
Wait a minute, and you bounce on them.
You bounce on them.
Oh my God! But isn't that like an exercise piece of equipment from 1994?
It's one of these things, I think they're on the shopping channel.
Yes, that's right.
And they convince clinically obese people that this plastic thing that doesn't look like it's going to take their weight is going to give them like iron abs. It's never going to happen.
I
don't think you can exercise yourself slim, can you?
No, you can certainly look better than that, but your weight in that, you can increase your weight by exercising. But I had a friend. I haven't seen her in a long time. She was a big girl, and she saw in Argos this really good exercise equipment, and it was light. It was all like elastic bands and shit, that sort of stuff.
Oh, poor bastard! Yeah.
So she says, "This is it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get myself fit and healthy. Good for you." And she says, "I'm away down to Argos to get this stuff." I says, "I'll walk with you." And she says, "Fucking walk. I'm not walking that distance." And I knew she was doomed.
Have you seen those poor bastards that get those lift bars and they fit them in their door frames?
Yes.
They don't look safe.
I have one.
Jesus Christ.
No, but I don't do lifting. I hang upside down on it.
Of course you do.
I've got inversion boots, and I just hang it, and it's good for my back. I enjoy that. I like it so much. I'll just hang them.
That's how you're going to be found. You're going to be found. You'll have choked on some vegan sausage roll, and they'll just find you. Just all the blood will have rushed to you.
I don't eat while I'm hanging upside down, but what I do, I get my tablet.
You could exercise.
I lock my tablet screen and turn it upside down so I can watch a film while I'm hanging upside down. It's great.
Oh, for Christ's sake. No, but that reminds me of that guy. The guy who went potholing and he got trapped upside down down a hole.
Terrifying.
And basically that just killed him. Because the blood
doesn't take long. Yeah, it doesn't take long to
the
die
blood
like
just
that.
pooled to his head. But they were able to feed him and stuff and keep him going, but then they almost got him out, but then he slipped back.
The guy I always think about is the one, I think he was in LA, and he covered his house, every square inch of his house, in porn magazines, and he couldn't be without porn so much. He made out of a wire coat hangers a hat that would hang porn mags in front of his face, and he went to the bathroom and it hooked into the light and he electrocuted himself, and that's how they found him. And I thought, that's the way I want to be found.
That's a level of death like Rod Hull and Emu, isn't it?
That's power death. That's what that is.
Because was Rod Hull, he went to change the channel.
Emu died as well.
Emu died as well.
Fuck's sake,
you've not seen Emu since, have you?
Oh, I bet he took that poor bird up there to fix that aerial with him.
Well, isn't it weird? But his family were sitting in, and I think they were watching the World Cup.
Thud.
And then they heard a thud and they saw him fall past the bloody window. Poor bastard. But the thing is, Sooty and Sweep.
Emus can't fly.
Yeah, but Sooty and Sweep. They went on beyond the death, didn't they? Sooty. But Emu didn't. Why is that?
That's a strange thing, isn't it?
Because they did. You'd think he would have, maybe that's how he failed his money. Because he would have had, because he was in a bit of financial bother.
Right, okay.
But he maybe should have franchised it. Because Grotbags is dead as well, but she just died of natural causes. Yeah,
so they say. It was probably all that green paint on her.
It was lead they'd used.
Lead, yeah. Did you ever find Rod Hull a bit disconcerting? He was a bit scary.
There was something toothy about him.
There was something
I didn't like the way that he was an adult entertainer to begin with.
Yeah.
But TV's terrible. If anybody says to you, oh God, TV was so much better in the day.
Oh, it was rubbish. It was terrible.
Absolute. All TV was like, it was still holdover from end of the pier entertainment.
That's all it was,
everything was like variety shows. That's all there was.
Terrible stuff.
And I'll tell you what I loathe, impersonators. My childhood was full of people doing Sean Connery impersonations. That was it.
And as you know about Sean Connery impersonations, everyone thinks if you say things like this, you've got it. But they don't.
You're a shite for sure eyes.
Yes, but they don't put the posh bastard Edinburgh accent in it at all. So it doesn't hit the mark with me.
No,
I always get annoyed.
Well, that's all people did. There was that poor. Who was the guy that was the number one impersonator? And he did Harold Wilson.
Oh God knows.
Back in the day, but he had terrible stage fright. But then the obscurity, people think, oh, the world, you know all these obscure details of people. No, you don't. You know, like there was darts players who would suffer from the yips. Remember the yips?
Was Stephen Hendry. Doesn't play snooker anymore because he's got the yips. Yeah.
The crafty Cockney, he had the yips. He's dead. He was a turd. That big booby guy, he had the yips. Is the yips a thing? I don't think they get the yips now because they get sports psychologists.
And they get rid of it, yeah.
And they de-yip them. I think they use like some kind of electricity in the scrotal area. And that'll cure you of the yips, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll distract you.
It'll distract you from the yips.
The only thing I remember about darts players is that Dexys Midnight Runners.
Jockey.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, when Jackie sings, and they were doing that song, and someone didn't know who it was, and instead of putting a picture of Jackie Wilson behind them, they put a picture of Jockey Wilson.
I know, it's true.
It's amazing.
People think that's an urban myth. It's not.
No, there's
it's
a picture
true.
of him. Yeah, the big fat face.
Dexys Midnight Runners were fucking awful.
I have an affection for them. I do.
They had that. I don't like a greasy neckerchief.
No one does, but I think they were competent. Actually, they were really a competent band. And I think their style was so of its time that it outstripped. So they're instantly dated.
Yeah, they had a hit that just became a monster.
Yeah, Come On Eileen.
Were they not more of a kind of almost Ian Dury-esque number?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
Because Ian Dury got a really good reputation, but his thing's a funny old thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was very much his own beast.
Oh,
Ian
yeah.
Dury.
I mean, they couldn't play him on Top of the Pops. They wouldn't do anything. Everyone was kind of scared of him. And that was wonderful. I think that's a great place to be.
There's a film with him, isn't there? They made a film with Andy Serkis, didn't they? They've done I noticed on the TV this morning. It just shows you the 90s, a terrible time, but they're reassessing it. And they've decided it's time for a 90s revisit. So there's a Creation Records biopic come out.
Oh no!
About that guy. Who's the guy at Creation Records? I don't know the guy that ran it, but they've got Ewan Bremner from Trainspotting playing him.
Ewan Bremner.
But Ewan Bremner must be ages with me, I suppose, because Trainspotting came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where he was a young guy, but he's now playing in his 40s. The guy who launched Creation Records. He's too old to play him.
He's too old. He's had a good career, actually.
Ewan Bremner, for the most Scottish looking man alive.
He looks like he's 3 weeks out of rehab. He's got that look about him.
But people seem to think that Sean Connery didn't look Scottish at all.
Not at all.
Sean Connery was quite a swarthy looking guy.
Yeah.
You see, I watched Highlander recently.
Wonderful.
And people
film.
laugh because they're like, "Oh God, he's so Scottish. How can he play an Egyptian?" Portuguese,
Spanish
Eternal. The thing is, he can play it a lot more convincingly than a Scottish guy. Ewan Bremner is Mr. Scotland. Peely Wally.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Chinless and Peely Wally. It's Scottish.
That's the best way to be, and I stick by that.
So the 90s. So fuck Oasis. Give me what I mean.
Oh, I hate it. I remember Well, this was at the peak when I was really playing in bands and, and doing all this sort of thing. And when The Prodigy, I mean, I knew The Prodigy from years before, but when Fat of the Land came out, I thought, this is our punk again. This is going to change everything. Yeah. No, everyone just bought Oasis and Blur. It was the most depressing
Oasis
time ever.
In particular, they were always dad rock.
Yeah, it was safe.
They were like Slade.
Yeah,
Slade.
Yeah,
there's nothing revolutionary about Oasis. I went to see Oasis in Aberdeen, and there was the shittest concert I've ever seen in my life. Noel Gallagher did this 10-minute guitar solo. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
A 10-minute guitar solo?
It was awful.
By any chance, was Black Rebel Motorcycle, whatever they're called, supporting them? Do you remember?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
Because I was sitting outside listening to that shit, because I had to take a word. That would have been 2001.
Oh, no, I think it might have been before that.
Before that, yeah.
I think it was in the early, I think it was like the 90s.
Oh, it wasn't the stadium they were playing then. It was a wee shitty, it would be the Lemon Tree or something.
No, I think it was a bit, no, I don't think it was a Lemon Tree. No, I think Aberdeen Conference, I think it was their, oh Christ, I don't even know. I wonder if I check one of my shoe boxes in the attic, I've probably got the ticket somewhere.
Oh, I bet you do.
I'll check.
Flowers in your little...
I'll check. No, let's just say there were no Cypress Hill. Because I went to see Cypress Hill in the Barrowlands, and that was fucking stupendous.
Brilliant. I went to see Ronnie Size. Amazing. So I'm listening to Ronnie Size, Prodigy, and there's great rock bands in the world. Everything's really happening. Oasis.
Oasis.
Throw myself out the window. Terrible music.
But they've become... they're dad rockers, and they've become tedious dads.
Yeah, I just
like their musings and stuff is just so predictable. They think they're rebellious, but they don't like masks. It's like fucking like the Stone Roses. I actually liked. I must say, the Stone Roses, like Fool's Gold. Yeah. Fool's Gold's a great song. You've got it.
No, I didn't like it.
I liked it, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but like he's become such a turgid, like windbag bore. You're like fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
And this is the thing you have to remember when you're a musician, right? You've got nothing to say apart from your music. Now, you may do, but you have people who, after their... You see, this is the problem. You've got Tom Morello, I think, out of Rage Against the Machine. He went and got his degree in politics from Harvard. He is a smart guy. He's involved with politics all his life, as well as being in a band. It doesn't matter. You're in Rage Against the Machine. It does taint you in a way. It does. It doesn't matter how smart you are and how much you have to offer. It does taint you, and people they tend not to take you as seriously if you've been in a band. So stay stupid. That's what I say. That's the way forward for anyone in a band.
I saw Liam Gallagher. He did a video about him, a documentary, and he was kicking about some terrible new album, but he was with his children. And he had that really awkward relationship with his children where he was he was an embarrassing dad.
Yeah.
And he thought, it was just cringeworthy because he was trying to like pretend his sons were his mates. They're all lads. And I thought, fuck this shit.
There's really a wonderful picture you can get online, and it's a guy out of Slayer at some awards event, and his daughter's there just looking at him with absolute cringe. It's wonderful. I like that. But your dads are cringe. That's what you're meant to be at that age.
You imagine if you looked at your dad and thought, God, you're cool. It's just not going to happen.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't. That's wrong.
Weird. It's like people that call their parents by their first names. That is a thing. Settling, isn't it? It's not unsettling.
I refer to my mother always as Mrs. Findas.
Do you?
From a distance and bowing.
The sainted.
Yes.
She's a lot to answer for, that bloody woman, I'll tell you.
She gets a blame for a lot.
A lot. Well, it is her fault.
It is her fault. There's no denying it. And she says that herself.
I know you're awful, but Ken, you didn't ask to be born.
That's right. I know who's to blame. Exactly. Yeah.
Ken,
but so
that holiday they had, that visit to the cinema.
Okay, we're moving on.
Was it Gone with the Wind they went to see?
We're moving on. You're not going to traumatise me.
Speedily.
So, we talked before about the favourite gigs you went to, but when did you go to the cinema? Because I know there was a moment for me. When did you go to the cinema?
And it blew cinema visit?
Away? No, just the first time you went and it captured you in a way that almost changes your life.
I hate cinema.
Just go. You hate it, even as a kid.
I loved it as a kid.
That's when I liked.
I think. Well, my hometown had a proper Art Deco cinema, proper cinema.
Lovely.
Which has sadly been long demolished. It wouldn't have been demolished now, but it was demolished and they built a rather horrible house on the spot. But I think it was a double bill, and I think it was the first Superman, and I think it was The Amazing Adventures of Sinbad. Remember there was like an 80s one of that?
I used to go to those double bills on a Saturday morning.
Double bills. Oh. But the thing is, it was double bills. You watch 2 films in the time it now takes to watch a fucking Avengers movies.
Yeah, exactly. It was
They were like 2.5 films, 3 hours. I bet you they hadn't even been 3 hours long total.
Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, was that it?
Do you remember that one? The woman, she turns into a seagull and she turns back and her foot's still a seagull.
Who was the lady in that? Was it not Carol Monroe?
In Eye of the Tiger, that was Dr. Quim. What's her name?
Oh, Medicine Woman.
Medicine Woman, yeah.
Have you seen her?
Yeah, she looks amazing.
She must be 90 years old.
And she looks fucking great.
I think so. You'll find it in her lower back. There's just a huge knot of skin. I think it's all
elastic band holding it together.
Just an elastic band. It's going black. It's got septus.
Jane Seymour.
But she doesn't care. Jane Seymour. Good-looking lady, Jane Seymour.
Have you seen her in Live and Let Die?
That's the Roger. That's a good Roger. That was the first Roger Moore Bond.
That's a cracking film.
That's a good one. Yaphet Kotto, sadly passed.
R.I.P. Yaphet great man.
Yaphet Kotto was fucking fantastic.
He was great.
He was in that. Was he? He was in a. Was it not Life on the Streets?
Oh, I don't know.
Like a Homicide Life in the Streets or something. He played like the angry captain character.
Oh, brilliant.
And I think he had a toupee.
Right, okay.
By that stage, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful piece of work. No, he's good. He's very underrated actor, Yaphet Kotto. He's so good in Alien. He's
great in Alien, and he doesn't in Alien. A lot of the heavy hitters actors in that, and there's a lot of gravitas, and he has this subtlety of an everyman in it that you can sort of. So when you watch it, you relate to Yaphet more than anyone else.
Yeah.
He's got this everyman quality to him. I love that.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, for good. Nice. 80s. He saw into his 80s. So that's a good innings.
That's good going.
If you make it to your 80s in showbiz, some showbiz people, it takes a lot out of them.
It does. It's
striving to be famous. It's a stressful business, I think.
It's a weird business.
Tom Cruise will see 100.
I've got a feeling. You know how we talk about the Royals and their Magic Emerald that keeps them
Magic
forever?
Emerald, yeah.
I think he's developed a synthetic Magic Emerald.
Oh, he's made one.
And this is why he's looking better than ever. He had a wee bit of surgery a couple of years ago and it made him look like a chipmunk. It's worn away. He's okay.
It's subtle work he gets done.
It's George Clooney quality work he got done. Yeah,
because what they get done is they make themselves look like if you're 50, you don't want to make yourself look like a 30-year-old.
No.
You want to look yourself like a well-preserved 50-year-old. That's the secret.
That's it.
So you don't get rid of all the crow's feet. What they do is they don't. Ken as men get older, you get that droopy eyed, so you look tired.
Yes, I've got that.
They have to deal with that because you can't really be an action star that just looks mildly tired. God, it looks like James Bond wants to have a wee sit down. You've got to be like.
I have to say, Daniel Craig has aged faster than any human I've seen in history. But I saw a picture of him when he was 20, and he did look 56.
Yeah, so he's never been youthful.
No,
Daniel Craig.
never.
I think he's really tired of the Bond franchise. I think he wants to just be done with it, and it's been on the verge of being released for like 2 years now. That film.
I know it'll never leave him.
It'll never leave him.
Just to fuck with him, we should never release it and always threaten
every other James Bond will be dead before it's released. It'll just be Daniel Craig. Pierce Brosnan will have passed. Old fucking what's his name? That Welsh bastard, what's his name? Very underrated actor.
I have no idea.
God, I
Timothy
can't remember.
Dalton.
Timothy Dalton.
I like him. You know something? I'm going to say something that might be a bit controversial to our movie listening friends out there. He was the best Bond. He had shit films.
Timothy Dalton, yes. He was a very good. He looked the part. He had a bit of danger about him, but the films were terrible.
The films were terrible, but he's
the
a
villain.
great
The villain
actor.
was just Robert Davey.
Yeah, it's just rubbish.
His villainous, because a lot of Bond villains have like a metal hand or one eye.
Yeah,
Robert Davey just had acne scars.
Acne scars. Oh, but what a haircut he had! That slicked back hair and everything.
Davey, I've not seen him for a long time. It's quite disturbing because there's a lot of people, you go and look them up. And you should never do it if you've not seen them for a spell. Like, I watched Highlander and I thought, I wonder how Christopher Lambert's getting on.
Oh, don't
Jesus Christ.
Go and look at Clancy Brown, though. Clancy's
looking well.
He's looking well, and he's hilarious. Go and look at him in Michael Rosenbaum's Inside the View podcast, and he's on that, and he's fucking brilliant. He's great. He's really good. But he's a good guy.
He rocked up in one of the Coen brothers films. I think it was Hail Caesar.
Yeah,
and he plays like a film director and that, and he's just, oh Jesus Christ!
Is it good?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Is it really good?
It's a wonderful film, but he just looks so scary. The thing is, a lot of French guys don't really believe in plastic surgery because, for whatever reason, beautiful French women seem to adore really ugly men.
That's the way it goes, man.
It's a thing the French have been pushing.
Yeah,
because Gerard Depardieu, who just looks like a sack of shit in his best day. The ladies loved him.
Well, I've always said women like a bit of rough, and you don't get rougher than us.
I know. Oh God, rough. We're a high grit sandpaper. We're none of that smooth stuff.
We're an 80 grit.
80. Oh, we're just essentially a pebble super glued on a piece of paper.
That's us.
That's us. Oh, Jesus. I like an ice cream, but I'm in the mood for a posh ice cream.
Don't start going on with your posh ice creams. Because,
my favourite two flavours.
Don't want to hear it. Here we go.
I'm going to tell you anyway. A good rum and raisin or a pistachio.
I fucking should have said pistachio. I said, you're going to say pistachio. Do you want to know what? Shut up. Do you want to know what you're going to have? You're going to go down to Farm Foods and have raspberry ripple, and it's going to be so hard you can't get it out. It's going to bend a fucking spoon.
You know that fucking ice cream that you plebs eat, and it's just it's full of air bubbles. It's just whisked. It's just not ice cream. No. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Oh, but I knew you'd say fucking pistachio. I should have said that.
I love pistachio.
Horrible.
I love it. Because it reminded me, I was doing this art project. I think I've said this. I was doing an art project years ago, and I was building a sculpture, and I had to clear this bit of ground.
Okay.
And all there was there was a tenement building overlooking it, and somebody must have loved their pistachios. So there was just, mounds of pistachio shells. They must have been spitting out the pistachio shells. Mounds. Like, you get one of those midden heaps.
Yeah.
Like archaeological digs. It was like that. And then there was a single Pampers that had been thrown out, and an apple tree was growing out of it.
That's kind of beautiful, actually.
Isn't it?
You should have painted that.
Do you ever like it? When you're walking down the street, and there'll be like a borehole. Can somebody, like, there's been an old goalie or something, and it's been removed, and there's just a hole in the tarmac, and there's just a little ecosystem. There's some moss and a few daisies. I love stuff like that. I love it when weeds grow through the tarmac. Can they push their way through?
You're a romantic, though. You're a poet.
I love stuff like that.
I'd kick it over.
Nature's robust. Nature will see a way.
If I had my way, I'd pave the countryside and turn it into a skate park. I'd be so happy at that.
Oh, God, so you would as well. Oh, there's my blue bastard neighbour. He's away for his coffee. I've not scared him off yet. I'm licking my wounds. I'm licking my wounds. I've been listening to a podcast about New World monkeys.
Hmm?
It's worth it, but if anybody look into it, people. You get your old world monkeys.
Okay.
And they just don't know how monkeys got to South America.
Okay.
And there's a theory that they might have been on a land raft.
Oh. So,
like, a couple of monkeys ended up on this bit of flotsam and floated over. Yeah, because a New World monkey, their noses are different. It's all very strange. And New World monkeys have prehensile tails and live in trees, whereas Old World monkeys tend not to. They're on the ground. It's fascinating stuff.
Oh, interesting.
I love things like that. But it's all the supercontinents and how things got about. It's just fascinating.
I love the one where they were saying, how did people get to Australia? And a guy, he says, right, I'm going to build a raft and see if I can get to Australia.
Is that?
And he went in a current, and it took him there in like 3 days from like Indonesia or something. He just shot over.
Well, who was it? Was it Thor Heyerdahl, the Kon-Tiki?
Yeah, that's right.
Because that was how people got to Hawaii, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just takes them there. The currents just take you there. You don't need any effort.
People, but imagine the balls. I won't even fly to London. There's people that would have got on a raft and fucking went out into the big ocean.
And they know nothing of what's there.
No, nothing of what's there.
That's the human spirit, dude.
It's human spirit, yeah. Kon-Tiki stuff. But I think the Kon-Tiki's been proved wrong, isn't it? I'm not sure. There's always somebody throws up a theory, and then it turns out it's just a load of hogwash.
But that's how they reckon humans got around the planet. A lot of the times they were just on rafts, and the currents take them places. They just take them directly there. It's incredible.
Well, the Chinese, they had this big fleet that they were going about in these big junks, but they had the ability to desalinate water and stuff.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? I might be wrong, but I think somebody said there was like Chinese artifacts maybe in Australia. You know what I mean?
I could imagine. It wouldn't
jade
surprise
objects
me.
There's a guy I work with who's a fucking noodle, but he thinks he's at one of these Atlantean things. He thinks we're all driving about in cars a million years ago and stuff.
Yeah.
But people fail to realise that there was trade routes. The world was not. The world
wasn't closed off. Yeah.
We didn't have mobile phones, but we had language. So people would pass on information. It was fantastic stuff.
It's like when they find old maps and that and trade routes to Argentina, and you're like, what? It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's
nuts.
It's just quite amazing.
Definitely the Viking people got to America.
They went everywhere, yeah.
They definitely got there. They were on Greenland. They'd hopped across. Fucking incredible stuff.
Tough people. Incredible,
oh Jesus, yeah. Well, they were the economic. People think, the Vikings, they were all very warlike with the big horned helmets, and it was all about going and raping and pillaging. But they were. You think of the Scandinavian countries, there's not much land.
Yeah,
they live in fjords, so they've nowhere to farm. So they're economic migrants. Just fascinating people. Just incredible.
That's
stuff.
where I always saw myself ending up in Sweden. That's I always fancied just ending up there.
You think so? Very expensive.
Yeah,
I think it's a place where it's expensive to go on holiday, but if you live there and get a job, it's not expensive. You know what I mean? The standard of living's very really good. They're kind of quite welcoming of foreign people. It's interesting.
I've never been.
No, neither have I.
Always thought
I don't know. I don't really know anybody that has been. It's not really. I don't think they really encourage you in going on holiday there. To be honest,
no, it looks
great. They're quite happy with their lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got a lot of good social things going there. I know Finnish people. I've met a few Finnish people.
Yeah,
crazy, absolutely
not
fucking crazy.
Laughing.
Crazy. Well, I found them to be quite amusing people, but just nuts.
Yeah.
Drinkers.
Oh,
big
God.
drinkers.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to go to Iceland, but that's extraordinarily expensive.
My friend went, because if you go to America, you can change Iceland, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you can go to I don't think it's called the Blue Lagoon or whatever it's called. It's got a new name now. And you go out to this, and it's just basically outflow from a power station. Because they just use thermal vents to heat it.
Yeah.
And it's this place where you go and all this sort of stuff. And he went, and I told him, take the flight that way and you'll do it. But he didn't take any like swimming trunks or shorts with him. So he went and bought them, £43. He says they were Lycra and they were super tight. And he says £43 to get them. He couldn't believe. So it can be quite expensive there. But
that is expensive.
Yeah.
I would like to sit in like a hot spring eating a large tin of that rotted shark.
Oh, God. Now,
it's just like...
My other friend...
Have you seen that stuff, that rotted shark?
It's disgusting.
They say if you opened it inside...
Nice.
You open it anywhere, it just fills any space.
Ruins the house,
stench. It's a stench, yeah.
But I bet it tastes good. I bet it does,
Anything that's got that... Well, I like those preserved eggs, those Chinese eggs.
Yeah, disgusting.
And they have a real kind of pissy smell, like... It's incredible, but they taste really nice.
But then again, if you get someone from it's like if we meet Japanese people, we can say that they have a smell of fish and we smell as sick because we have milk and stuff like that. But see the amount of people, if you handed them cheese that stinks, they'd throw up. What are you
Oh
eating?
yeah, I'm led to believe that the nation with the least body odor are the Chinese.
I don't think genetically they can get body odor. I don't.
But
their diet,
they're not big dairy consumers, and I think a dairy's got a big.
It's a big part of it, but I think genetically you don't get it.
But we don't realise we probably do stink like fuck.
Oh, we do stink when it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Because we eat a lot of cheese, a lot of flavoured crisps.
a lot
of Indian people. You can smell the curries. They're eating a lot of spiced food, so you can smell. Yeah,
eat a lot of garlic. You can smell basically where they come from.
Yeah.
So if we smell of milk, we smell of vomit to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, we smell like baby sick.
Yeah, that's what we smell like to people.
When the first astronauts came back from the moon, they were given colonic irrigations
for fun,
and the traces of their own mother's milk in their
stomachs. Really?
So, because you just don't. Can people are lactose intolerant? But it lingers.
It lingers.
You just don't fully digest a lot of that stuff.
I think the majority of the world's lactose intolerant. That's the mad thing. Majority.
Yeah, probably. But I think probably our climates is required us to eat a lot of fats.
Right? Mm-hmm. Milk and stuff like that, the majority of people still have problems with it in this country.
Yeah.
And potatoes, we've still got a problem digesting and eating them, and that's all we eat. And I remember it used to be the staple diet was potatoes and milk, and both of them we don't digest properly.
No,
we don't digest them properly.
I've never had a problem with a tatty in my life.
I have no doubt.
There's no problem. I've never had a problem with
I've never had a problem with a tatty in my life.
Ever.
I'm putting that on your headstone.
There's no have tatty will work for potato products.
Oh God!
Imagine if you're allergic to tatties. Jesus Christ! I'm just going to have myself a shade.
I'm not a fan of them. I
love them.
Now I don't know if I'm allergic, but when I have a potato, it feels like it gets stuck just below my throat when it gets into my sort of
I know
gullet.
what it is.
I don't like that.
You're too lazy to chew.
I never chew. I always get.
You actually resent having to chew your own food.
I resent having food.
You just halfway through and you're like, I'm tired of this. We've said this before. One wee tablet or one larger tablet up your arse.
Either way, with Diamantes on it. I would be happy to have that.
Could you get like a Pez dispenser that's like got a wee spring load so you could put it up your bum?
I have no doubt. There's got to be a fast loading, if you've got to do a load of people at hospital.
I've not had a Pez dispenser for a long time.
I've not had one for a long time, but Pez are really nice. They're a really good sweetie.
I always think Pez were a wee bit disappointing. I like those Jelly Belly.
Oh, the jelly beans, they're nice. Yeah, I love them.
Because you can mix those bastards up and create flavours.
It works. It's not just a gimmick. You actually put them together.
They're quite expensive, though.
Yeah.
And we spoke about a Lucky Tatty.
The Lucky Tatty.
A Lucky Tatty is a Scottish sweetie, and it looks like a tatty.
Oh, yeah, you've said this before, but I've never heard of it.
Covered in cinnamon. It looks just like a flat tatty.
Okay.
And what they used to do, inside them, they would have a brass toy. Like a little Highland cow. Like this, the metal tokens in Monopoly.
Yes, they're like that.
Like that.
Oh, our NHS will be overrun with this.
People were breaking their teeth, and at that time, when you broke a tooth, you got an abscess, you got an infection, and you died.
Yeah.
And then kids were choking on them.
Oh my God!
Nobody said to the Lucky Tatty company, guys, it was just like, oh fuck, people just need to be more careful.
Yes. Things have changed. Oh my God! I've never heard of this.
It was people were I told you about the Kraft cheese.
Yeah.
Is it the Kraft? No, was it Sun Pat? There was a cheese I ate as a child that disappeared from the shelves, and I'm convinced to this day there was fucking lead or arsenic or something in it.
Oh my God!
It just overnight it disappeared. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I've spoke to people about this, and nobody remembers it.
Well, this is like the whole ship toothpaste conspiracy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it happened around the rest of the UK, but when we were kids in primary, they gave you a ship toothpaste.
Yeah.
Now, they said this was to test the new kind of toothpaste. So every month in my cupboard there was 200 bloody tubes of toothpaste. They'd come every month, they'd be delivered, but no one ever tested you. No one ever asked you for a survey, and it went on for 10 years. And then all of a sudden it just stopped.
What's the tablet you get? Is it iodine or something you take if you're exposed to radiation?
Do you think
maybe
yeah.
Maybe they were like, maybe there was some nuclear disaster in the UK, and they never told anybody. They're just covering their backs.
There was one years ago. Dunray blew up. Nobody talked about it. It actually blew up.
Maybe they put something in the milk as well.
I'm telling you, Ship toothpaste, and it was a white tube and a white box with a red little ship on it.
It wasn't a flavoured like Punch and Judy toothpaste.
No, it was. I'm sure it was.
I told you I once bought from from Lidl's. I bought apple flavoured toothpaste. Worst thing you can ever imagine.
I'd make you boke.
Can you imagine? Disgusting. I love apple.
That sounded very Dundee there, eh? That'd make you boke. Oh.
But you know when you've cleaned your teeth and then you have an apple? Yeah. Disgusting.
It doesn't work.
Not a nice combination.
Cleaning your teeth and then a coffee, not a good mix. Oh, no.
Oh, no. You clean your teeth. I can just imagine you just using some soot out of the fireplace.
Hey, I've known people that done that. Used to use soot. Yeah, used to use that.
Yeah, well, you do get a black toothpaste. It's got charcoal in it. Charcoal
it rips
toothpaste.
Your gums to shreds.
Oh, it's
and they would take the soot out, pure carbon right in the mouth. Yeah,
break up coal. Ken.
Yes.
Could you use cat litter? I'm speaking about well used cat litter. That's probably would work quite well because if you've got the athlete's feet, it's urine.
Speaking of cats, I'm off to the vet after this. My poor wee cat.
Oh fuck! What's happened now? What's he done now?
He's absolutely fucking fine now. But yesterday, at 1 a.m, he started throwing up, and it went all the way through the day. He just wouldn't stop throwing up.
Cats spew all the time, man.
They do spew all the time, but he just constantly was spewing like every 10 minutes. It was full spewing.
It's a fur ball.
Nah, there was something up, and. So, because if a cat spews more than 3 times
he's not eating some of your food, is he?
No, what it is though, he's out hunting. So if he's eating a mouse's stomach or something, that's it. They're meant to spit them out, but not this daft twat.
Well, you know what's deadly to cats? Any onion thing.
Really?
So if a mouse is eating garlic and then the cat eats the mouse, the cat's in trouble.
Oh, God.
No, a tiny bit will be okay, but if a cat ingested like a garlic clove, I think it could kill it. I think alliums are poisonous to dogs as well. But I think cats live on a knife edge.
Yes. Yeah.
They're close to death. My cat has he gets squeezed twice. We took him for his checkup. And the vet was just kidding. He says he's fine, but he's just not right. But he'll endure. He can't jump up in it. I've had to make a step for the couch.
Oh, what a shame!
I've made a wooden box because he can't just leap up onto the couch. So now he has a little step to 80s. If I could make like little ramps everywhere, he'd be happy.
Yeah, what a shame.
Because my auntie had a cat and it just lay there for 10 years. I'd never saw the thing move.
Some do that. They just
saw it
do.
Move.
Yeah.
And it was just skin and bone. I was perfectly happy. Just happy.
No, my boy was just spewing too much, and I thought, I'm going to make an appointment because he could have some constipation or something.
Did he see you coming out of the shower? Maybe.
Oh, I'd be spewing as well, man.
The two of you. Maybe you came out of the shower. He started to spew. Made you spew, and then he ate some of your spew, and then you rolled about in it, the two of you, just slipping in it.
I have a full length mirror that faces the bath, and I put it the other way because when I get out, it's like a shaved ferret. It looked like Gollum.
It's like Catweasel.
Yeah, it's so fucking bad. And I'm not even joking. There was one day. I mean, I would joke about things like this, and I got out of the bath. I looked up, and there I was. And I made this sound. I went.
You didn't even recognise yourself.
I've done that. Have you ever done that? You don't recognize. I was walking towards Blacks in the town.
Oh, you catch it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the big window there, and I saw, and I went. I walked, and I went. That's me. Didn't have a clue what I looked like. It was so strange.
That guy's a terrible dresser. You're like, oh fuck, it's me.
I've actually done that before.
You never want to see the back of your head when you're queuing in the bank.
Well, that's how you found out you were going bald, wasn't it?
That's when I found out I was bald. I was like, oh, geez, look at that poor bald bastard. And I thought, hold on a minute.
Yeah, you just
hold on a minute. You look like someone out of Tenko, though.
I've got that appeal.
Tenko.
Well, here's the thing, though.
There's always a grime to you.
Yeah, always. But here's the thing: you don't know what you look like because
no, you don't.
You genuinely, if you see yourself, it's in a reflection.
It's a reflection.
That's a complete opposite. That is not what you look like.
That's not you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not you.
When I'm masturbating to the most beautiful man alive, it's my mirror opposite. It's not really
I thought you were
me.
going to say me. Jesus God Almighty! That was a panic.
No.
Fuck's sake!
When I'm doing my cosplay thing of Timmy Mallet, my Timmy Mallet cosplay to get myself in the mood, ken? Or my Rod Hull and Emu, ken? That's for special occasions.
Jumping off the roof for that final impact.
The thing is that emu's beak, so soft, like velvet. Velvet.
God!
Imagine getting a blowjob from the Cookie Monster.
I think it'll be quite abrasive and unpleasant.
Jesus Christ, it'd be all that crumbs.
It would be the way I do my towels now. I've discovered.
Because the thing is, the Cookie Monster,
are good.
For a man that loves cookies, he never eats any.
I think he just has a psychological condition that brings
you
that
like
on.
I like a Coors towel as well. A nice
I like
rough
a towel. That is,
yes.
It's like it's cardboard. Oh, it's great.
Because what it's good is, but that's good because it's good for the circulation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where are you trying? You're rubbing too hard.
Just all over. My mum's a hairdresser, and she says that the reason my dad's held on to what hair he has is because he uses a nice rough towel on the top of his head. Keeps the circulation going. Getting these people, you need to be rough for yourself.
See, here's the thing. Even when I had long hair, I never used to dry it. I would just wash my hair and take off, and it was just always wet and messy.
Oh, Jesus
it was
Christ.
a terrible look. It was a terrible look.
You'd hear like the guy with the fucking Lost Boys, the saxophonist in Lost Boys.
That's what I looked like when I left the house.
The body, not quite so much.
No, the body.
Is that guy still as muscly? I bet he's got right droopy tits now.
I believe you can get a cameo from that guy. You can get a birthday message from him.
Oh, no. I'd insist he was topless, but like I said, he'll have moves.
He's a good age now, yeah.
He must be a good age. Was he not Tina Turner's?
I believe so, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Tina. You never see Tina Turner anymore. When was the last time you saw her?
Years ago. She retired, though. She retired years ago to live the quiet life. Yep.
She had a life. She had a hell of a life.
Almighty. She was wild.
And interested.
Yeah.
She's wild. Like that piece of shit she was married to.
Yeah.
I'm not excusing him. He's an absolute turd. But I think Tina Turner had been quite wild as well.
Oh yeah, they're out there people.
She was no shrinking violet.
Absolutely not. Jesus,
no shrinking
violet.
Wonderful. She was quite formidable.
Yeah,
I like Tina Turner. Yeah, she's good. What's that great song? That Bush City Limits.
That's wonderful.
That's a great fucking song.
And you see how young she is when she's doing it, and it's just pure power.
I thought she was very hot in that Mad Max film. It's a terrible film.
It's a terrible film.
The Thunderdome.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad.
They tried to make it like PG. It was just
it lost its edge. And even though all the money went into it, it felt so small. And when you watch Mad Max 2, it feels like an epic, and there's no money involved.
That film is quality because Mad Max is a complete cunt in it.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
He's a complete cunt. He shows little bits. He just fucks off.
Because the three stories is he's a normal guy, he's full of hate, and then he finds his humanity again in the third one. And that's fair enough. But in the second one, the character's great. It's actually interesting because he doesn't give a fuck. He wants his fuel and he's out of there.
Pure mercenary. It's like it's a cowboy film.
Yeah, that's all it is.
He shows up at the fort, and it's like the Native Americans are it's a great film.
It's a great film.
Fury Road's something else. I've not watched that for a while.
Fury Road, when I saw it, I thought, I've just seen something great here. But I also had a sense of disappointment because it does not have the soul of Mad Max 2. It just doesn't.
It's a visual spectacle.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No,
but is it a great film? It's fucking brilliant.
It's a film. You know me, I don't drive. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
That film made me a bit of a petrol head. You could smell the petrol. You know what I mean? You thought, I want to go and drive a car fast. And drive over some people.
And it's like, if you ever watch the making of it, they said everything's practical, everything's in camera. Bullshit. Go and look at the special effects that were done for that. Because when they're driving along, it's just a plane. And then they put all the mountains in the background and change the sky, and it's fucking flawless. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I don't know. Did I watch it? I'm trying to think if I've watched any. But I watched a film.
Okay.
There's a guy called Frank Grillo.
Oh yes, I like him.
And Frank Grillo, he's like the American, what's his name? God, it's his Jason Statham.
Yes, he's
middle-aged action guy.
Yeah,
he's obviously on
something. Yeah,
he's on some kind of growth hormones because he shouldn't be looking. His physique's nuts. He's in a film called A Boss Level.
Yeah, Mel Gibson.
Yes.
Any good?
And he's playing. It's like a Groundhog Day. It's a fucking hoot.
Is it good?
It's
I've got to give it a go.
It's a schlocky hoot, and he's great in it. Yeah. So this films, I am watching some terrible films at the moment because it's just some dross. But now and again, one pops up.
Yeah.
And what I would recommend as well for people, if you like a bit of sci-fi, there's a new series called Debris.
Okay.
And it's like it's kind of X-Files-y. If you like the X-Files, you'll love it. There's pieces of a spaceship have landed on Earth.
Right.
And it's one of these things where the technology is so advanced, it's like magic to people. And it has really weird effects. And I've watched a few episodes of it. Fucking great. Really, really good. Really, really
that
good.
Sounds
and I've heard nothing from it. There's loads of stuff that's just sneaking under the radar
There's just so much. I think it's like production companies are going like full tilt now because there's so many streaming services needing content.
And there's nothing being made. There's just nothing being made.
That's the problem. Man. Yeah, they're trying to get us what they can. So you're finding a lot of like Korean series appearing and lots of good stuff. Yeah,
Korean stuff, superb.
Korean, they've for the last, I'd say 10, 15 years, they're on a flyer. Probably longer than that now, but their quality's just gone through the roof.
For sci-fi, if you like your sci-fi horror stuff, the Koreans they're the top dogs. They're doing it,
yeah, wonderful.
The production values are the same, if not better, than American stuff now.
Oh yeah,
half of Hollywood. It's like Chinese production companies. Saban and that are all.
Yeah, it's all
Chinese money and everything these days.
It's like any business. To say something is an American company or a Chinese company, they're international. It's all over the place.
Money has no interest in borders. It's just dirty, stinky, filthy fucking money. Just stinky money.
I want more
dirty
of it.
Fucking money. I want more of it. I end up watching stuff on YouTube about folk that live in I watched one that was like an £81 million mansion.
Oh Christ!
And it was grotesque.
Yeah, but you've got £81 million of problems.
Fucking horrible. Just horrible. Just if you can it shows you can afford an £81 million mansion and you don't have any taste. It's just a poorly designed pile of shite.
Everything looks like Versace's
toilet.
Why
do you need a mansion? There's no need for it.
I totally agree. It's all status. It's the same thing as we've been talking about recently is, trickle down doesn't work because what people are doing, rich people hoard money.
Oh, they do.
If it goes back into the economy, anywhere in the world, it improves everything. But if you hoard it, then it doesn't improve anything. And it's the same as buying these houses. It's what are you doing? It's all about status. It's all about that.
Trickle down economy is basically if waiters didn't get paid, they just relied purely on tips.
Yeah.
You would starve to death.
Yeah, exactly. It's not any good.
Because people wouldn't give you any fucking money. And the richest people won't tip. You just know they wouldn't.
It doesn't work that way. You know what I love watching? Anything about micro living, little tiny houses that people build
these are fine. I know, but there's a smugness to them. Tiny house living. Now, they're always smug.
You beat me to it because people go, I only, we're 21, we just spent 30,000 building this, and it's on a little bit of land that my parents own, and the little bit of land's a giant fucking field with horses in it.
It's always the same.
It's always like that.
I watched the one. Have you ever seen the one? It's someone. And him and his daughter live in this water tank.
No, I haven't.
It's a converted water tank silo thing. And they sugar about, and you'd love it. It's got that climbing holds up the walls, all this kind of stuff. And it's cool and everything, but no, I can't do it. There is a
smugness. I know what you mean by that.
You can't stand up properly. At my age, it's quite a struggle for me to get out of my bed and put my shoes on.
Yes,
and I wouldn't be able to do it in a confined. I need some space to fall about. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do like the micro living, but there is the smugness.
No, I can understand, but I don't think many people can stick with it forever. They live it for a small time.
For a small time, and they need to move on. I don't know. I think I could really cope with that. I think I could.
I'm a vast collector of stuff.
Well, I'm not.
Like, I've just gathered, so a rolling stone gathers no moss. Well, I've not rolled enough.
And I'm not. The most things I've got that I own that are big is maybe my bike, a couple of surfboards,
your car,
my music gear. No, all the stuff.
That big heart of yours, Ken.
Oh, my heart. Could I get a building big enough for it? Yes.
No.
A matchbox.
the Albert Hall. You could keep it in a tiny little matchbox, just a wee shriveled thing.
A wee shriveled knot of dark matter, hate and loathing.
Black. So heavy, though. It would be so heavy.
Dark matter.
If you put it in the floor, it would just fall through the planet, pop out the other side. My mother, one time, she decided she was going to dig a hole to Australia. This isn't recently. This is when she was a wee bairn.
Oh, right, okay.
She was a wee kid. When she was like 4.
Last week in the garden with a shovel.
Yeah, a shovel. My dad's like, what are you doing? She's like that. Can you get me a cup of tea? He goes back in the afternoon. She's like 30 feet down. She's got a pith helmet on. No, and she dug down. And they dug up an old dog, but I think they thought it was a dinosaur.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Brilliant.
I love kid stuff like that. Imagine if an adult said, right, today, what are you doing, Brian? I'm going to go and dig to Australia. You'd go, bear with me, and you go and phone somebody. But a child can go to their mum and dad. Okay, what are you doing today? I'm going to go and dig to Australia. That's nice, dear. Nice. Off you go.
In the family home, when I was a wee boy, I went digging. And I found some things, right? And as it turned out, this building I was in used to be kennels at the back.
Right.
And I don't know what they planned to do with the dogs or why there was so many kennels, but there was dog skulls everywhere. So I'd been out all afternoon finding as many as I could, put them on a bit of string and tied them round my neck.
Had they been eating them?
And when I came in, it was my mum and dad are sitting at the TV, and I walk in with 5 full-size skulls round my neck, and they just... Is it because it's the 70s, 80s? They just go, where'd you get them? All right, well, didn't it get covered in mud?
Was your dad just quietly sobbing and the tears were going on?
He just looked at me. I remember him looking at me going, what the
Evening
fuck?
Telegraph. Oh, God, yeah.
What's that, son? I went, I found them. And he went, oh, well, don't get too dirty. Your mother will kill you. And that was it.
I know. Dog skull. You tell me that there was an actual dog food factory behind you. They were making food out of dogs.
I have no idea, but I think I remember there was a point where I left the skulls outside.
Did you make a little altar?
There had to be about 50 skulls, if not more. There was just
Jesus
everywhere.
Christ.
Yeah,
that's like Ed Gein.
Yeah,
Ed Gein.
Just loads of dog skulls, but they were all adults. They were all adult dogs. It was really strange.
Somebody told me the other day there's one of these things, they're thinking there's a dog napper going about Dundee. But I think it's this urban myth. Periodically it pops up. They think there's a guy going about in a white van stealing dogs.
Yeah, you do. It's because there has been some dogs stolen recently. It's things like that spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
And then it goes straight to the gypsy community. Oh, if they're in town, they're stealing your dogs. And it's all the usual things appear.
It's the one with chalk marks. People think there's chalk marks in the front of the door.
I think that is a bit of an urban myth as well.
Yeah, I think so.
You get the marks on the door and then they'll come back and steal your dog and that. So I think because that story applied to other things years ago. So I think this is a recurring bit of bigotry that appears.
Yeah.
And people don't realise it's bigotry. They think, oh, that's happened. You know, when enough people say it, they think, oh, that's happening. And you'll even see articles in the paper about it, but it's all bullshit.
Down in England, there's a number of like Polish laddies who they've been delivery drivers.
Yeah.
So they've got a van. They're going about delivering stuff, and some fucking mouth breathers have followed them home, banging on their door, claiming they're like a dog thief.
Oh God, it's crazy. I saw one delivery guy grabbing a dog though, and the guy runs out and gets him. He fucking got. I thought he was going to kill him. He says, "Why did you take the dog?" I don't know. I just took it. And he's like, "Well, the police are coming, mate. You're fucked. You're out of a job in that." And he's going mental at him, but he just picked up the dog and put it in the back of the van. So it does happen. You get
it does
idiots.
happen. That's but that's not organised.
No,
thing.
that's a spontaneous thing. That's just a
because well, I've spoken about the dog's worth $3,000. If it's a wee pug or something,
too expensive. Bring the price down.
But there's folk that buy themselves a cat that's like a pedigree cat.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how stupid that is, really? Imagine spending thousands of pounds on a cat. Day one, it just walks on the street and gets hit by a cat. They're not a good investment, a cat, as we've spoken about.
No. They're close to death. I think one of the ones that's an issue at the moment is the Maine Coon, because they're so big. And people want these giant cats. So they're getting more and more expensive. And you're like, they're just going to make them into commodity.
Well, your cat's quite big because you've just bought it so you can do that Tanya Roberts impersonation.
Oh,
you can just straddle her.
I've got my chamois leather on, and I've got my big hair, and I'm taking pictures, and the cat has to sit there being
formidable with a knife. Tanya Roberts, wasn't she?
Oh, wasn't she a great woman? Urine infection killed her.
Jesus, I know it's bleak.
She didn't go to the doctors because of COVID.
Oh,
terrible.
Oh,
a lot of people have done that in the last year, been too scared to go to the doctors because of it, and it's ended them.
Lordy.
I like to end the podcast on always a positive note. Death.
I think it's going to be a wee while before we get a jab.
Oh, it's going to be a month later than we expected.
Well, there's so much bullshit going on all sides. Everybody's blaming everybody. They're saying it's Europe, and the Europeans are saying it's us. I think it's a simple case of the Indian... there's a supply problem.
Yeah, that's
production problem. But governments just won't say this is what's happening.
Yeah, they just won't.
I wish they would just tell people
because the manufacturers are saying, "There's loads. We've got plenty."
There's loads.
Nope.
But they're kind of trying to create this. This is not a subject you should be fucking bullshitting about.
Even though politicians are doing it, this should not be political. And the fact that they've halted the use of the Oxford drug around Europe is purely political. Yeah, there's no evidence for anything going wrong with it. It's nonsense.
So they're all getting in the way. But politicians, that's the problem. Politicians are just so fucking self-important.
Yeah.
They get themselves in the way of every issue. Because
how many are thinking of the long plan? We'll be out of this and I can look great and I can...
Yeah.
They're all thinking of the long plan, yeah.
Well, they're all doing just enough so they can take credit, but they don't get caught up when there's criticism. There's a lot of politicians at the end of this. When the dust settled, I think they're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Sturgeon. She's going through a thing where she's been found that she lied about what she knew about a situation, but then she's also done. Now, people say you've done a good job.
Yeah, she's done a pretty good job.
Or you could be cynical and say whatever the rest of the UK was doing, she just implemented it a week earlier, so it looked like she was more proactive. If you were cynical,
that's probably saved lives. It's just that's a simple case. If they just
even
like
though
locked
the
down
outcome
sooner,
is saved lives, right? Yeah. And we understand that. You can still be cynical and say it was a political move.
I think they're going out of their way to like bring a woman down. Whatever you think about her, I don't think it will. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I don't get a flavour like it. You know what I mean? I don't. There's an election coming up. Who knows what's going to happen?
I think she's probably in the okay area at the moment.
Yeah,
and people have a good feeling about her because with things
Let me say, she to me. I don't know. We don't talk politics enough much. But old Randy Salmond.
Yeah.
If she had covered everything up.
Yeah.
And Salmond hadn't been brought to book about it.
Yeah.
That would have been, you'd have, out the door, you've got to go.
No problem, yeah.
But it did go ahead. He was accountable. There was a court of law. He's found innocent, whatever you think. Mm-hmm. But she didn't cover it up. It's all a kind of political argument.
I think there's just, as usual, there's just the political games, the to and froing of bullshit. It's all about power, and we're on the sharp end of it. That's the unfortunate thing. And the whole of Europe at the moment is seeing how your politicians don't give a fuck about you. They're playing games with your lives. This is what's happening. It's bullshit. And I say, and I could go, this needs to stop. This behaviour, there has to be things that are completely non-partisan. There has to be things that politics, even though politicians are dealing with it, they have to remove it. It will never happen. That's a utopia that I ask for that can never ever happen because people are involved.
You just
use robots.
Yeah, they've always lied. But I love it when they kind of pretend that there was back in the day, politicians were so honest, and it's only now they're like full of shit.
What
like,
nonsense! What nonsense!
It's just
they talk about Greek politicians being completely corrupt and everything. Nothing's changed. 2,000 years ago, they talk about the same problems that we have now. So if it's not changed in 2,000, 3,000 years, it's not going to change in the next week because I stamp my feet.
In spite of itself, endures. People keep going. Incrementally, I still believe things are getting better.
I do. I can see things getting better. I can see it.
In our lifetime, people's attitudes to a lot of things, it's easier to be a number of... It's not perfect, but everything's going in the right direction. People would have you think we're just on the cusp of like fascism and death camps. It's not.
It's not.
It's really not. It's not.
The proof that things are better, no matter what person you're talking to, a person of colour, a gay person, whoever, you say it might be bad in many situations now, but would you want to go back to 1960?
Oh, fuck no.
No. So there's clear movement forward, and we just need to keep plugging. Just keep going, keep moving forward, for the best, and try and be more positive. That's my plan. Also, pave the countryside.
Still eating meat?
I'm still eating meat, man. I'm still doing it. Does it sound better? My grey colour has completely gone.
I noticed. I saw you the other day when you're doing all those farts. Your skin, you were ruddy cheeked.
No, that's because of the pressure.
You were like one of those whistling kettles.
Oh, I couldn't stop.
I can't tell you. You need to maybe do some of those
Once I broke that
exercises.
seal, it just wouldn't stop, man.
You need to tighten up your undercarriage a little bit.
Every time I laughed.
Maybe a couple well-placed staples would sort you out.
I got a new staple gun. Did I show you it?
I saw it.
It's really nice.
I was once stapled in the buttocks with one of those things.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Fucking hell.
You were stapled
it bleeds
once.
Like fuck.
On my first day, right, of YTS, doing training with, was it Justices or something, the upholstery place, you had the pneumatic, right?
Oh,
and I got shot about 19 times up one thigh. On my first day.
Oh,
that was how they said hello.
Imagine if you got stapled in the back of the hand.
Oh, that's going to be
that would leave a bruise, wouldn't it?
Jesus Christ.
I like some of those old lady hands. It's like crepe paper.
If you even talk about my hands now, there'll be words. They do though. Oh my God. It's like crepe paper. That's the skin I've got. No collagen.
Yeah. See, when you pull a bit, does it just stay hung out? Just like a nipple? It doesn't retract.
It retracts slowly.
You can see it slowly.
Yeah, but it slowly goes back. Yeah.
It's like a snail withdrawing its head back into its shell.
Same speed. And but yeah, that's no collagen under my skin and my hands, so I've got a very skinny hand. It's a very weird looking thing, and it goes all the way up my arms, and like then all the fat and collagen starts at about my shoulders. So I look like a 1950s robot, with the thin arms hanging off a body.
It's like you're wearing like a gilet, flesh gilet.
A flesh gilet. That's disgusting, but it's very accurate and upsetting.
Hold on, I'm looking out and the sun's gone away a wee bit.
It's went very grey, but I think the warmth is still there, dude. It's still going to be warm.
I don't want to
it's going to be... No, it won't. It's going to be a great day. Everyone wash your balls, take care of yourself. It's going to be a wonderful day.
Please.
Wash your flesh gelée balls.
Your flesh gelée. You think about it, the scrotum is like a costume.
Jesus Christ, dude, we've got 3 seconds to go and we're talking about scrotums. You know how they put
those like body warmers on dogs? That's what your scrotum's kind of like.
Until next time.
Like a snood.
Later.
Ta-ta, folks. Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra.